What is going on, mortals? Mortal T here, and you can probably tell by the title of this video, we're going to be talking about how to increase the flyer's speed, because after the nerf you can no longer pump speed on any of the flyers, but there is a way around it for some of the flyers. So I have lined up all the basic flyers in Ark from the original maps. You still got the Wyvern from Scorched Earth, but we'll talk about that in a minute anyway. So these are all the basic flyers apart from the Wyvern. Now the basic stats of these have all been set to a limit, but there is a way to increase the speed of every single flyer, and that is to do with some of the server settings. But I've lined all these up. These are at basic level, so I can show you what their basic movement speed is. So on the RG it's 100, and this is what it's like. It's pretty slow, which is really annoying because the RG was really useful. Not just for carrying stuff. It had did an alright amount of damage. You could pick things up as well. And yeah, it's a shame they just nerfed the hell out of its movement speed. So next we got the Pteranodon here. Now its basic movement speed is different. It has 135. This is the base stat, because their reasoning was that Pteranodons were meant to be fast scout birds or dinos, which is reasonably true. Yeah, they are meant to be fast, and they pretty much are at a 135 base movement speed. So get out of the way, Percer. So next we got the Pelagornis, the bird that can land on water. Now this is only a low level, it's nothing major, but its base movement speed is higher than the Pteranodon's. It's 136.5, which surprises me. I don't know why they made it faster than the Pteranodon. I couldn't tell you why they did that, but yeah, it's just faster. Well, it's meant to be faster. I don't know if it actually is faster in a race. I've got nowhere to test it out. But yeah, these they're not that useful, to be perfectly honest. They haven't got a good carry weight. The health is ridiculously crap as well. This has only got good weight because I pumped it, because it couldn't hold me with all its fish meat in its inventory. Yeah, and I don't think the melee damage is that good either. So I don't know why it has a higher movement speed. I don't think anyone particularly uses the Pelagornis, but there you go. So let's line this one back up. Next we have the Tapejara, or the tape jar, or whatever you want to pronounce it as. Now this has got a base movement speed of 136.5 as well, which is really decent. It's actually really decent. Exactly the same as the Pelagornis. I don't know, yet again, I don't know why it's faster than the Pteranodon, because it's meant to be a quick scout flyer, but this isn't meant for stuff like that. This is a maneuverable flyer. It can go in every single direction. As you can see, we're going around in circles. We can go backwards, forwards, side to side, and we can go up and down. And I fell off. So yeah, I don't know. More than anything, this dino is made for building really tall structures that you usually can't get up to a certain level with, because you can stay in one place, which is really nice, and you can turn on a dime, which is also nice, but you can move left and right without flying forward. So I don't know why they added the extra movement speed, but it comes in handy in the in the middle of the video. Well, not the middle, but later on we'll show you. So next we have the biggest flyer on the original maps, apart from obviously the Wyvern. Now they have changed this, I do believe, because this was meant to have, the base stat was meant to be 100 movement speed, but they have changed it. because it's now a 136.5 as well. So I don't know what their plan was, but it's still really slow compared to the other flyers. As you can tell, it is still rather slow. It is slower than the Tapejara, and it's definitely slower than the Pelecornis. It may just be me, it may just be it looks slower, but it is the same speed. But it feels like it's slower. Even though it's got the same amount of movement speed, it still feels generally slow. And this is sprint mode. This is the normal pace. As you can see, we have slowed down a lot. And we go into sprint mode, and that's it. So that is the basic stats of all the flyer dinos in Ark, apart from the Wyvern. But the Wyvern's base, as far as I know, hasn't changed, and it's been set to 100% movement speed. So there's not really a way to increase that movement speed, which is unfortunate. But so now we've tested out all the movement speeds of all of them. We've shown you every single one of them. I want to go for a comparison. So let's just see, what shall we... this is a baby. I don't think I've pumped any stats on it. But yeah, so this is a 130 as well, because this method will increase movement speed of all the dinos. All your tame dinos this way will affect them all, but it affects the flyers, which is really nice. So what we're going to do, we're going to have to go into the main menu. We're going to have to go into the settings and mess around with them. Now, I know a lot of people don't like messing around with the server settings just in case it breaks them, but don't worry, that's what server settings are there for, so you can mess around with them and have some fun and get the settings you like. So we're going to go into the advanced settings, and we're going to scroll down until we went too far. Let's go back up, please. So here we are. Oh, let's just get to the top of these. Forgot how many there is. Here we go. So this is what you want to go for. This is the wild dino stats per level and all the ones below it. So as you can see, the movement speed is normal. It's set to 1. But you can increase these. You can increase them however much you want. You can put them on 10. You can put them on 100. But I'm just going to increase it to 6.01. And we're going to do that for every single one. So this is tame dino stats per level. As you can see, the speed is set to 1. We're going to increase it to 6. This is tame dinos add per level. The speed is set to 1. Let's increase this one. And the final one is tame dino stats affinity. Speed is set to 1. And we're going to increase it all the way to 6. Now, we're going to load the island back up, and then we're going to have a look at the base movement speed of the flyers now. And we're going to look at the Thylacoleo just to show you that it does affect all the dinos in Ark, not just the flyers. It affects every single dino's movement speed. But if you have your movement speed on high, when you tame a new dino, you will not really have to spend a point into its movement speed to make it faster. Now, some of the dinos naturally just come with really good movement speed, and I mean ridiculously good movement speed, so it can, if you put it too high, it can be kind of game breaking because you can't seem to get around. Even though it's quick, you bump into stuff a lot. So let's load in, please. So we're going to have a quick look at the Thylacoleo, and now you'll see its base movement speed is 280. So it has gone up from 130 to 280. So that is the same with the flies. Even though you can't pump the speed has gone up. Apart from, these are the only two exceptions that I know about, is that the RG speed does not increase and the Wyvern's speed does not increase, which is unfortunate. But the reason is because it hasn't got any points above 100%. If it had 101, it would be affected. So yeah, as you can see, there's basically no difference for the RG, which is unfortunate. It is one of my favourite, well, it was one of my favourite flyers, but is no more. I no longer use the RG. So that is the only two dinos it really affects. I am currently thinking about the moth, but the moth was really slow anyway, and if they did increase the speed on that after the nerf, I don't see why, so I'm guessing it's going to be 100. I haven't checked, so sorry about that one. But yeah, so the base movement speed now on the Pteranodon is 310.4. Yes, it has increased dramatically from 135 to 300, over 300. So your Pteranodon moves a lot faster. But like I said, you can always increase the speed more, and you can have it up as high as you want to. I increased it to 8, and I got up to 380% movement speed. So that's just some kind of a comparison. So yeah, it increases the Pteranodon speed. Really nice. You can get around the map quicker. The Pelagornis. It has got a movement speed of 319.4. So, yeah, this moves even faster now as well, which is really nice. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but it is. It does make a big difference when you are trying to get around the map. So yeah, that is the Pelagornis, but that means the speed of every other flyer has increased as well. So let's land. Tapejara. This has a this had a base movement speed of what, 136.5. So this should be roughly about the same as Pelagornis, which is 319.4. Let's see what it is. It's 319.4. It's exactly the same. But this makes the Tapejara another really good mount, not just for maneuverability now, but also for getting around the map at a decent speed. This is its normal fly speed, and then you got the sprint. Now, I know it doesn't seem like a lot. I've said it before. It doesn't seem like it's moving faster, but it is. I've been on the Pteranodon ever since the flyer nerf, when I have increased the speed, and it does get you around the map a lot quicker than just with base movement. Now the Quetzel seemed really, really slow, even though it had a 1.36.45 movement speed or something. Let's have a look. It should be 319.4 now. It is. So let's see. It still looks really slow, and it is still really slow, but the speed has increased slightly, because even when you did pump movement speed on any of the flying dinos, it did take a while before you could actually notice the difference. So let's fly back. So that is all the flies covered, and that is how to make them a bit faster. And that's just having the speed settings set to 6. Now I want to try something on camera to see if I can get any remarkable amount of, I don't know, discrepancy between it, to test it out, what is kind of game breaking and what it isn't. So I'm going to increase the speed yet again. I don't know what I'm going to put it to. I had it on 8 before. Let's go advanced. Let's scroll down. And scroll past all these. Now in the dino settings, what should I set it to? 6. Let's double it. We're going to go 12 for each one. So let's put 12 in each one. And I want to see if this makes any remarkable difference. I don't think it will, to be honest with you. But we're going to try it. 12. And that is it, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so let's load up the island again and see what the difference is. But don't forget, this does affect all your dinos' speed, not just the flyers. So we're going to have a quick look at what the Thylocalio is saying. The base was 130, it went up to 280. I wonder what it is now. Even though we've doubled the amount of points that we put into it, instead of 6 we got 12. I don't think it should be roughly double. I'm not too sure. So let's, come on, we just gotta wait for it to load up and we can have a quick look at all of them. And here we go. Right, first over to the Thylacalio. It was 280. It is now 460. Holy Jesus. That is a ridiculous amount of movement speed for anything. I'm going to show you yet again. The RG will not be affected. The base is still 100. And the movement speed is still the same. No major difference. I didn't think there would be. So, Pteranodon is now 520. And as you can probably tell, there's not a great lot of difference between the movement speeds. Even though it has basically doubled, there still isn't a lot of difference. But it's still reasonably quick. It's a shame they nerfed the barrel roll feature as well. You can only do once every 3 seconds now, which is a bit unfortunate. I don't know why they really did that. It does give the Pteranodon a little bit of a boost. We'll try and go into orbital cam right here, zoom out as quick as you possibly can. We'll fly, and you can see it does give you a tiny little boost. That barrel roll does. So that is probably why they did it, to limit the amount of barrel rolls you can do. So it limits how fast the Pteranodon can go. Now, Pelagonus, 538. Yes, its wings are flapping a bit faster, I do believe, and we are moving slightly faster. It's not too bad. I don't think I'd use it to get around on, but it does move a tiny bit faster in water as well. Let's fly up, thank you. So what did I say this was? 538 movement speed. Okie dokie. What was the Pteranodons again? Let's have a quick look. This is 538. And hop off. Pteranodons was 520. So it is a bit up. So this is going to be exactly the same for this. 538. The wings are flapping a tiny bit faster in sprint mode. There is a slight difference in the speed. Still a really good amount to get around on now, especially for its maneuverability, and especially because now you can get the tech saddle for the Tapejara. Really nice. So last but not least is the Quetzel. Now its movement speed should be 538 as well, but I still don't see there being a lot of difference in the Quetzel speed whatsoever, and no, there just isn't. Because even though its base speed, it said it was, what, 136.5, I don't think that is right. Because this has not increased its speed. Because the last time I looked, the base movement speed for a Quetzel was 100%. So this might be a tiny bit faster, but probably so much so that you cannot see if it is faster or not. But you mortals will have to let me know in the comments down below. Do you think this really changes the movement speeds of the birds, or do you think it doesn't? I think it really does with the flyers that count. The Tapejara it definitely does, and the Pteranodon it definitely does as well. The Pelagonus it probably does a little bit. It's a shame about the RG and the Wyverns. I'm not too sure about the Moth. But yeah, that was just a, well, not a quick way. I know it was a long explanation, but I wanted to show you mortals everything from base to when you increase it. I want to quickly have a look at this. That's not that fast for a Thylo. That's still pretty slow. There we go. Forgot you have to pump a point into the stuff that have got it to make it active. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, it affects all dinos. Just to let you know, it does affect every single dino. Oop. Just make sure you spend a point or so onto something. I want to test that out really quickly. So I don't think it's the same for the flyers. I really don't. Let's take Tapajara. This has got a... So let's see. It's flying pretty fast already. It's got 8 point. Let's just put it in weight. No, not made any difference even if you do level up the flyer. So that is not a thing. It used to be a thing, but it's not anymore. So yeah, that is how to increase the flyer's movement speed. I hope this helped you mortals out, because I did have a comment on it asking me to show him how. I have now shown you how, so go and enjoy faster flyers, especially Pteranodon and the Tapajara, which are like the 2 fastest flyers in the game now. So yeah, I hope that you found this informative. I hope it does help you mortals out after the flyer nerf. And if you did find it helpful, please don't forget to show that like button, who is boss, by punching it in the face. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to click that subscribe button. And as always, mortals, don't forget to share it with your family and your friends and around the world. But that is it. I, Mortal T, and I am out.